Hello? It'll make it work? It'll make it work good? I don't make it working. Okay? Didn't make it work? I hope it will. Yes? Okay. Okay. Hello? Oops, I'm found. Hi, everybody. Welcome to Housemark's Mega Mega Global Wide. It's make a good show today for you, and hope you like it. It's gonna be fun for everyone. Fun for everybody. So, Merry Christmas from me to you, and you back mostly to me. And all I want for Christmas is 100,000 subscribers. That would be real helpful. I'm just saying. Also, nice NFTs that you could buy. Come baby size well. Okay. Okay. Well, Merry Christmas and have a good show. Don't forget to hit the like right away. Hit like. Push that like button. It's right. I think it's about Dale. Yes. Yeah. Put the like thing. Okay. Okay. Bye. Hi everybody. Welcome to the show. Good to see you. Hello. What's going on? Um. No pressure. But if you don't subscribe, or if you've already subscribed and you don't hit the like, baby Hal will die. No, that just really, there'll be no outlet for him, and he'll just cease to exist, and it will be all your fault. And if you can live with that, well, that makes one of us, because I don't think I could deal with that. I'm sending NFTs to my nephew and his boy. Oh, that's awesome. Yes, NFTs are a great comedy gift for that only this show has thought of. How is it that NFTs like this are I'm the only person who thought this up? For God's sake. Anywhere you've seen it, by the way, it's been out. I've had these for like a year and a half, but like as soon as the thing came up, I was like, NFT, that's funny. And I immediately started selling NFTs. And so they're available on all my merch store things or whatever, and they're a good gift. I'm just saying. Shit, I don't care if you make your own. I just think the gag is funny. So, anyways, love you guys. There it is. Yeah. As a matter of fact, let me see if I. Oh, by the way, hi chat room. Love you guys. There you are. Make sure I can see you. Excellente. Thanks for subscribing. By the way, subscribe. Don't forget because subscribing is good. Oh shit. Hold on one second. Light. There you go. My little side lights that cut me out are never mind. Again, not important. Hello. Hi. How are you doing? And what's shaking? Hey, yes, the Little Sparks Rascals could be its own thing. I love the chat as well, TSN Broadway. Thank you, Larry Leo. Also, hi, Sarah. Good evening, yes, to our dear friend CSL. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas, Matt. Hello, Sparklers, to everybody out there. Excellent. Kath, good to see you. TR Graphic just made it. Welcome to the show. I'm so glad that you got here. Let's see. Sorry, I missed that one. What about what's the possible? What about the shower curtains with boxes of classified documents on them? Where they're they don't make the shower curtains on the sites that I saw. They have towels, which didn't quite do it, but I'll work on it. I think people should have drapes that just look like you're looking through a doorway into a giant ballroom with all the like classified boxes on the stage. Oh no, I'm not. No, golden shower. We don't make golden shower curtains. That's a mistake. I'm just saying. You have to, Carlin, thank you so much for getting the 2 NFTs. They're kind of special. And for those that do have them, have you had a moment where people have asked you and you've explained them and they've gone, my goodness, how clever? I'm just curious. It's just interesting to me. So that said, let's get started. There's so much show today and so little time. If I may, let's see. Let's start with somebody we don't we don't cover that often. On Newsmax, there is a I don't know. I guess he's got his own talk show, but he's slumming on Newsmax or something. Some of you may remember Judge Napolitano from Fox News, who, oddly enough, was like it seems like he was kind of fired from Fox News for being too tough on Trump. And I guess the lesson he learned from it was, if I'm going to recover any of the audience and cash I was getting, I'm going to have to just be a Trump ball gargler from this point on. And hence, Judge Neapolitan, which, so named because anyone who puts strawberry ice cream next to chocolate and vanilla is just asking for trouble. That's just my personal opinion. I'm not here to yuck anybody's yum. I just can't do it. I don't like ice cream with fruit in it. Just saying. And fruit flavored ice cream, I'm not interested. I'd rather have an icy version of said thing. We've settled it. That's fine. Snow cones are fine. I don't need a vanilla snow cone. I don't want a chocolate snow cone. You see what I'm doing? All right. Now we're fine. All right. Now that we're settled. Also, by the way, if you're just joining the show, I am Hal Sparks. I am the deep state. I am the establishment. I am the Democratic machine. If you're asking like who the people operating behind the scenes, it's not Soros. It's not any of this. I'm doing it. I pull the strings. You understand? Nothing happens without my say-so in this goddamn town. So, yeah. I said, and I cried alone in the chair alone. Yes, I am. So in case whenever anybody goes, I blame the deep state, your answer should be, you mean Hal Sparks? And if they don't understand, let them stay confused. I'm just saying. This is the great I am. Yes. I am a Sid. You know who, by the way, on a quick side note, if I may, point of order, Mr. Chairman. I forgot to start recording my vert vid. Can I just say for the record that the funniest Christmas special ever, and that's saying a lot because like there's been Muppet ones and stuff, things that have been, I would argue, intentionally funny, trying to be funny, and yet none of them can hold a candle to the Neil Diamond Christmas special, because his version of Jingle Bells makes me nearly piss my pants every time I see it. It is so ridiculous. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride on one horse open sleigh. Like, it's all over the fucking map. And it's just silly. So like, it makes no sense. And it wasn't that long ago. I want to say I agree. Neil Diamond is awesome. That was my kid's first concert, just by random. Can I say for the record, Neil Diamond just belongs nowhere near Christmas songs. Vocally, it makes no sense. It's very silly. I have no problem with Sweet Caroline. Sweet Caroline. Good times never felt so good. Awesome. That's great. But seriously, all the Christmas, these three kings of whore and high. Like, no. It's just no. It's ridiculous. There, I said it, and I feel better for having said it. That said, I will watch it every year because it makes me laugh. Now, back to the sad and decrepit world of Newsmax and Judge Neapolitan, who is going to show us all how, I guess when he left Fox, or maybe when he joined Fox in the first fucking place, I can't really say. When he joined Fox in the first place, he jettisoned everything he knows about law. Jingle bell, jingle bell rock. Jingle bell time and a dingle a sling. Fetching and flowing and binging and bonging. That's the jingle bell. It's terrible. Just terrible. All of it. All right. Neil Diamond War Pigs. Oh my God. Please tell me he's actually done War Pigs. Get the fuck out of here. Generals gathered in the masses, just like witches at black masses. Evil mind that plot destruction. Come on, let's boogie it down the road. All right. All right, never mind. I'm fine. This is just going to go fucking off the rails so early. Okay, here we go. This is Judge Neapolitan. SCOTUS must overturn the Trump ruling.
For more, let's bring in former New Jersey Superior Court judge and host of the Judging Freedom podcast.
Yes, New Jersey, a place we all associate with a fine and uncorruptible justice system, never tainted by either the mob or graft or bribery or scheming.
Ask Judge Andrew Napolitano. Thanks for waking up with us this morning. So, Judge, give us your reaction to this ruling last night.
You know, it's not the way the system is supposed to work, Charla and Rob.
No, I don't know if you've read the Constitution. It's fucking exactly how it's supposed to work.
Rob, when judges are at the center of the democratic process, the voters should be at the center of the democratic process.
Yeah, you know what? I kind of agree, except there was an instance, and I don't know if you're familiar with this, where Trump voters tried to be at the center of the democratic process by eliminating it. And that asshole drove them to it, encouraged it, cheered them on, said, I love you, gave them, what's the aid and comfort. Huh? All right.
And Rob, as you just pointed out, the president has not only not been convicted of participating in.
You don't have to do that. They didn't have fucking trials to see if somebody was a fucking Confederate after the Civil War. That ain't how it works. You don't have to be convicted. It's a presumption, by the way, of guilt in this particular situation. And if it, and again, he has a remedy. The House and the Senate can actually reinstate his ability to be on it with a 60-vote majority. 60% majority, 2/3.
Or supporting or aiding an insurrection. He
You don't have to be convicted of it. You just have to openly participate in it.
Hasn't even been charged with it.
You don't have to be charged with it. It's silly.
For those who think he's been charged with it on January 6th, he is not. The January 6th charges are not charges of aiding or abetting an insurrection. In fact, Jack Smith, the prosecutor, intentionally did not bring those charges for this reason.
Yeah, because he wasn't aiding and abetting. He was directing it, which is not aiding and abetting. He wasn't his own lapdog in this.
So where are we?
I'm gonna guess you're at Rudy Giuliani's guest house with a bunch of books that are glued to a shelf where you smoke cigars and think about the good old days.
As of this morning, his name cannot appear on any ballot for a Republican primary in Colorado.
That's not true. Okay, baseline, this is just fucking stupid. If you're gonna come on as the legal expert for this shit, then at least say what it is. They put an automatic stay on it till January 4th. So as of today, he can still be on the fucking ballots. But as of January 4th, maybe not. So it doesn't start today. It starts January 4th. Their primary election is until March. It's going to make it a little hard, I think, to print paper ballots and have to print a new set. So it might guarantee there are machines in the Republican primary in March. That's gonna set Mike Pillow back a couple of weeks.
If that decision is not disturbed by the Supreme Court of the United States, either because they don't want to hear it or because they're going to uphold it, the ballgame will be over for Donald Trump. Because,
well, they also could hear it and just deal with the fact that, yeah, there's already a remedy in place, and he hasn't exhausted that remedy, which is to ask for a vote in Congress where 2/3 will allow him to be back on the ballot. And then they can debate it and argue it and laugh about it and give him the finger, metaphorically. But he's got a remedy available to him before it even goes to the Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court can look at the Constitution and go, oh, yeah, it says right here, you might want to call Congress first, because they have to have a vote before it comes to us. You have to, they kick you off. It says right here, a state can kick you off. So they interpret it, states' rights. So, but you can get kicked back on there. And if you do in Colorado, more than likely it would stop any of the other states who want to do it. So knock yourself the fuck out.
other states will do the same thing. That's why it's vital that the Supreme Court of the United States interfere with this decision.
Interfere? That's curious. It's an interesting phrase. Judge, is it?
Okay. Put it on hold, review it, and reverse it, and let the voters decide. The Republican voters decide who their nominee will be, and the general voters decide.
No. Neither party gets to run someone who tried to tear down the Constitution, even if they think it's a good idea. But first of all, these are party primaries. Second, there are clear rules for who can run for office. At this point, you might as well be arguing that people under the age of 35 or non-citizens should run. It's cut and dry. Fuck off.
And who the president will be. Otherwise, we don't have a democracy.
Yeah, we do. Just think of it as the Republicans are trying to run a 12-year-old psychopath who's not a citizen. Intellectually, like, I don't know, sort of like a Cenk Uyghur, intellectually and psychospiritually, but, way younger.
Joe Biden's America, Judge. Due process and Donald Trump don't collide in the same.
Hey, fuckhead, he's getting due process everywhere. Have you seen his attorneys misfiling shit? You know why his attorney was able to check the wrong fucking box and screw the pooch on his civil trial? Because he was getting due process and she fucked it up. This asshole is not being denied due process anywhere. As a matter of fact, this whole conversation over the last 8 months, especially since these indictments have come down, is all about the fact that this motherfucker is trying to punt due process and use pull every legal lever that he can get his hands on to try and move his trial in one particular thing or another till after the election. That is part and parcel to him getting due process. That's all he's due. He's just not getting more than he's due, and that's the problem these motherfuckers have.
And it's very often, clearly. Do you think the Supreme Court takes this up over the next few days?
Yes, I think the Supreme Court will take it up in the next.
Yes, and they'll go, you have a remedy, go talk to Congress, and then come back.
Few days
okay.
before.
And then Congress will schedule hearings. And I'm sure they'll get right on it.
Because ballots will soon begin to be printed in.
Yeah. What the ever-loving shit. Somebody at his Iowa Waterloo rally brought a picture, like a Playboy cover for him to autograph, and look at him. You're shitting me, right? That pic is real? Please tell me it was one of his Christian conservative followers. Just holding up a Playboy with him and in there with his wife that, is kind of showing off the fact that she probably isn't wearing underwear. There you go. That's good stuff. That's
early 2024. Ballots are prepared months before the primary.
Yeah, in Colorado, that date is January the 5th. So,
yeah, I guess you know what you'll have to do is in the Republican primary, his followers will have to write him in. And they will be instructed that they can write him in or they can't. Right? It's a fucking primary. It's the Colorado GOP primary. You don't think those folks know that if they're not going to keep track of whether they can write him in or whether it will count?
The Trump team says they're going to appeal. We expect them to do that.
Yeah, well, I don't expect them to appeal to anyone.
The question is now, does the Supreme Court of the United States actually weigh in?
Actually, though,
on this issue? The same thing could happen in North Carolina and other states. And the fear is, so fine, Colorado's a blue state. If Trump's not on the primary ballot on March 5th, which is Super Tuesday, 16 states vote on Super Tuesday. That might not affect his ability to win the nomination ultimately. But then they could use the same
yeah, it might.
argument to keep him off the ballot on November the 5th if he is in fact the nominee.
Correct. There was a trial in Colorado in which the former president's lawyers participated.
Yes, very poorly. And they argued that he didn't swear an oath to the Constitution to defend it, and so he swore an oath to defend it, not to support it, and not to it. Yeah, so that was, I mean, it's hard to even fathom their fucked up legal argument. It's just dumb. They argued he's above the Constitution. Explain that to these two dipshits, Judge Neapolitan.
I don't know if they took it seriously because the former president was not there.
Why do they keep showing that picture? Okay, clearly Newsmax is trying to fuck with Trump.
And did not testify. But at that trial, which went on for 3 weeks.
Yeah, you really? They didn't just flip a fucking coin and go, we're a blue state anyways. Fuck that guy. I don't like him.
A Colorado trial judge found that he did participate in and did incite the insurrection, on January 6th.
Uh-huh. And therefore,
that's grossly unfair to him. But the Colorado Supreme Court upheld those findings and then said, as a matter of law, his name's not going to be on the ballot. So judges are interfering with democracy
by following the Constitution.
In Colorado, judges will preserve democracy, the Supreme Court of the United States.
Yeah, you're not wrong. There's nothing democratic.
Yes, he is.
About what the Colorado Supreme Court did.
Well, I blame the founding fathers then. Apparently they drew a line. Apparently there's nothing democratic about the fact that you have to be 35 to be president, for fuck's sake. Right? Is there anything democratic? What if the American people want to elect a foreign citizen? What do you think? Is that okay? There's something inherently undemocratic, wouldn't you say, that the American people don't have the right to elect a non-citizen or a someone who wasn't born an American, right? You can't be a naturalized citizen. You can't, you're not allowed. Apparently, we're all, yes, Arnold Schwarzenegger. There's a bunch of Republicans who are having their democratic choices were thrown out the fucking window. Right?
How concerning is this if the Supreme Court doesn't step in and take this case?
It's highly concerning, Charlotte, because there will be other states where the judicial system.
Oh, by the way, people are saying in the chat room, like that TYT guy. Yeah, that's why Chen can't be president. And that's why the money that he's raising is fraud. If he's raising money as a candidate when he legally cannot be a candidate, that's kind of it's got to be a violation of election fundraising laws. One would think.
Is popularly elected and manifests the anti-Trump attitude that the voters in those states have, and they will move to keep his name off the ballot. Look, he's got to be on the ballot in all 50 states. Whoever's running for the Democrats, whoever's running for the Republicans, and also the minor candidates should be on the ballots in all 50 states, 51 because you can vote in D.C.
Yeah.
Because that's the Democratic system. So if the Supreme Court does not get involved, then judges will be deciding who the president of the United States is, and that's not a decision for the judiciary.
No.
Well, Trump should have thought about that before he fomented an insurrection. A failed one, by the way.
Oh, especially, the 7 judges, so it was a 4-3 decision. So it was close in Colorado. The 7 judges on the state Supreme Court were all appointed by Democrats. So you could make the argument, Judge, that the books were cooked before this thing even got to their desk.
Yeah, you almost like Trump maybe shouldn't have been as open and stupid as he was about fomenting an insurrection. Should have buried the lead a little more, protected it, covered his ass some more so that he wouldn't be in danger of being kicked off the ballot after his insurrection failed. But you know what? He's such a winner, and maybe he just got tired of winning and just went back to losing, or he just figured what could possibly go wrong? Of course it's going to work. Of course Mike Pence is going to do something he legally can't do, and if he does do it, then if he doesn't do it, then we'll just attack and send it back to the states and steal the electoral votes or whatever.
I am sure that Donald Trump will make that argument and will make it effectively. Now,
no. Why? Why would you think that? First of all, have you seen this motherfucker speak lately? He's not making any point effectively. Secondly, he had 3 goddamn weeks. He has lawyers that dealt with this. He could have gone down, he could have gone 1 fucking day to that trial. He blew the whole goddamn thing off. You know why? Because he either wanted to golf, hang out with the Saudis, go to Iowa or New Hampshire, or if he did want to sit in a courtroom, he wanted to sit in the one in New York where the case was already decided. It's just a matter of how much of a fine, how much of a penalty he's going to pay, and he just wants to sit there and bitch in the hallway. Lord almighty.
Whether or not these 7 justices, there they are.
Yeah, there they are. 4 dudes and 3 chicks. So all 3 chicks and one of the guys, clearly,
of the Colorado Supreme Court are biased against him because they're Democrats and he's a Republican. I don't know. But Trump.
Well, here's how you know. If January 6th happened and they reacted to it, then their judgment is what they're hired on to look at and weigh that against his argument or his lawyer's argument. If January 6th never happened, there's no way these fuckers could have cooked up a way for him to be kicked off the ballot. No way at all. So either his failed insurrection is biting him in the ass and he's being kicked off for legitimate reasons, or his dough-headed, maggot, water on the brain morons that he has, apparently, no, hold on 1 second. I love the, we're not WhatsApping weird writing person. That he hasn't, I guess, let's see. Yeah, he should have been successful with his fucking insurrection, which he wasn't going to be. In which case they wouldn't have had a choice. Or he shouldn't have tried it in the first place.
Will argue that, and that will enhance his popularity, certainly among his Republican base.
All right, that final note is kind of important. And raises popularity amongst his base. Okay, first of all, you can't. His followers are QAnon type followers. Honestly. So and I don't care how much they like him. You can fucking like him whenever the needle passes where you're going to vote for him. I give a fuck past that point, right? If you've decided you're going to vote, let's say the fucking Trump sycophant needle, the meter, if it reaches 50%, you're going to vote for him. I don't give a fuck once they get past 50% how excited they get. They still only get 1 goddamn vote unless they live in the villages or they murder their wife and use hers, God forbid, which apparently happened during the last election. I don't give a shit how excited they get. They can get more and more angry all they want. There's still the same number of them, and they can still deal with it the same way. And if they think this is, I think the only way maybe they're factoring that there's a bunch of like lazy Republican voters or lazy maggots who aren't going to vote in a particular state or whatever, and they really got to be driven to, they have to be as mad equally as women are about their rights being taken away. And so part of this is like, we need to bump this number up so that we can compete with like women voters who are trying to protect their rights. That's it. Like we have to get as mad as they are. It ain't going to fucking happen. And it doesn't matter because a good portion of his voters aren't going to fucking vote. They aren't. They're going to show how mad they are, because how you show your anger is as important as your anger. How it translates into your actions. And the way it's going to translate, women's rights advocates, women themselves in the vast majority, and those men among us that support them in this are an enormous number, and we are going to vote. That's how we're going to show our displeasure with this bullshit that's going on, right? That's how we're going to show up, and we're going to vote for Biden and dem down the ticket, because even in a red state, we got to put the fear of a majority in the back of their head where they didn't think so before. They thought, oh, this is a 60-40 district I'm in. I'm safe, so I can be as, maggoty as I fucking want to, right? But if the blue voters and the women's rights voters especially start showing up in a lot of these districts, and you've got a Chip Roy who's got a 50-50 district all the fucking sudden, then that affects his behavior, or who else thinks that maybe next time they can run against him. And that that makes him like mediate, or like minimize his maggotiness, I guess is the way we'll put it, right? Here, that's where we are. We're going to vote. We're going to vote in mass. There's going to be a huge Democratic turnout. On the other side, half of the Trump supporters are going to show how angry they are by voting and go, God, I'm voting for Trump whether they let me or not, right? On the other side of that Trump vote, there are going to be a bunch of people who go, fuck this whole thing. It's all rigged. I never believed it anyways, and they're not going to vote. They were first-time voters, or maybe in their life second-time voters in 2016 or 2020. And if he's not on the ballot, they're not going anywhere, which talk about a cascading effect. There's a bunch of these assholes who would vote for Trump and Boebert in Colorado, for example. If Trump's not on the ballot, every Republican in that state is going to have to either moderate their tone and try to sell the voters on a reasonable path forward, or they're just going to get screwed in this. Because if you're just going to ride maggot coattails all the way through, you have to have a district where the maggots are showing up in force. If Trump's not on there, there's a good argument that they just won't show up. And in a state like South Carolina or something, that is a real game changer. That is a huge number, because of all the college kids and college voters, for example, that are in South Carolina who move there, live there, and then start working for, whatever, the chemical industry or whatever the fuck else is down there. Those folks are going to vote blue. And if half of Trump's voters are like, I'm taking my ball and going home, it's a sweep. That's the reality they're dealing with. That explains the panic attack. But it's very important that he, that last little statement that he just said. Hold on.
They're Democrats and he's a Republican, I don't know. But Trump will argue that, and that will enhance his popularity, certainly among his Republican base.
Right. Again, cult members don't double in number because they don't asexually reproduce through rage. There are no maggots out there who are going, fuck, so loud that they go, and they turn into two. As a matter of fact, it's kind of the opposite. They get, more off-putting. That's why we maintain our sense of humor and enjoy ourselves, even when the stress meter gets pegged and there's a lot of shit going on, because we want to remain charming during the whole thing.